And yeah, whatever you see in your screens now, it is certain areas where some clarification is given, not treating regular employees of a contractor as contract. I think this is good. So the permanent employees or the regular employees of a contractor will no more be treated as contract workers. I think that is a good thing as far as the employers are concerned. Then gratuity clearly excluded from wages. I think only in case of Tamil Nadu, because of the judgment given by the Madras High Court in Madras Fertilizers case, I think gratuity is treated as wages. I think in Tamil Nadu, if the contractor fails to pay the gratuity to his workers, then the liability goes on to principal employee. But this may not be the case with respect to other states. But now it is very clearly excluded from the definition of the term wages. So that gives some clarity. And core activity, we discussed on this. I think some clarity is now given. And for doing the counting of employees, for determining the applicability of be it PF or ESI, right? Whether it is coverable employee or non-coverable employee, all those persons are to be counted, right? I think this will again give some clarity. Now I think there are doubts whether should we include only the coverable employees or should we include the non-coverable employees also. That doubt continues even today. But once the code is implemented, it is very clear both coverable and non-coverable employees are to be counted to determine the applicability of both ESI and PF. I think now I go back to the original question. So I think this was the question. What are all the major changes in new codes? I think I've just listed down. These are all, I would say, significant changes, right? And whether it is code on wages or other codes, broadly, there are certain things which will be in favor of employers. There are certain things which will be in favor of employees. But the idea it is more to improve the business and thereby increase the opportunity of employment. That is the idea. Now I move on. Okay. Hi, sir. Is there any change in the definition of workman too? And what is the difference between employee? I think we discussed, right? So except for certain categories, managers, supervisors drawing more than 18,000 per month, and the persons who are doing administrative jobs, right? Other people will just be considered as workmen, right? But these people, these classes of employees, along with whoever is listed down under workmen, they will be treated as employees. That is the difference, right? So there are certain classes of persons who will fall both under the definition of employee as well as workman, right? That is how it is. And the inspector come facilitator, yes, yeah. See, as we discussed, in fact, the whatever changes we are discussing, it is happening only in the central sphere with respect to the central acts, right? So I think only in these legislations they are coming up with changes, and the inspector's role is also getting changed as inspectors come facilitators, right? So I think they will be fixing it. It is there in the code itself. It is mentioned. So they may have to first advise, right? They may have to facilitate both the managements as well as the workers. They may have to make them understand as to the compliance and guide them. Only then they will go for penal action. Still, if the employers do not comply with whatever provisions applicable to them. Is there any benefit for employees to employ FTE? I think we discussed on this. See, again, this is one form of flexible employment, right? So you can take a person. It is you need not carry that person till he attains 58 years or 60 years, right? Age of superannuation. Instead, yes, you can clearly specify the term 3 years or 4 years, right? So with that, you can just dispense with the service. That is possible. This will not be considered as retrenchment. This clearly falls under the exception. So that is the advantage when you engage fixed term employees. What is the minimum and maximum duration for FTE? Whether existing employees can be converted to FTE? No. No minimum period or maximum period duration is fixed as far as fixed term employees are concerned, but it should be reasonable again, right? So if you say, so I'm going to take a person for a fixed period of say 10 years or 20 years, I think that is not reasonable again. You can straight away go for a regular employee for that instead, right? So similarly, you cannot take a fixed term employee for 3 years. So again, there is a term which is temporary employee. So when we say temporary employee, employees who are appointed against a temporary provision, temporary job. So that job itself will last for say 3 months or 6 months or 9 months. Normally, it will go up to 1 year. So again, it is not mentioned anywhere in the act. But when you say that when you look at the industrial practice, or if you want to keep up the spirit, right? So less than 1 year, better you go for temporary employees, right? and only in respect of permanent jobs, but you want to engage person for a specific period, go for fixed employment, fixed term employees, right? But if you want to have a person with you for say 15 years, 20 years, 25 years, go for permanent employees, right? Again, I'm saying this, I'm only suggesting. So less than 1 year means it's better go for temporary employment, right? And if you want to go for 10 years or more than 10 years, go for permanent employees. If it is in between, you can go for fixed term employee. It is only a suggestion. It is nowhere mentioned in the act, right? And I don't think you can convert the present permanent employees into fixed term employees. It is not possible because the major change is when you say fixed term employees, they are appointed again against a permanent work. Similarly, when you say regular employees or you are permanent employees, again you have appointed them only against the permanent work. So both the classes of workers are for doing the permanent work, but termination of their services with respect to permanent employees, it will be done when they attain a particular age, right? 58 years or 60 years or 55, whatever it is, whatever is your policy. But whereas in the case of fixed term employment, it is not based on the age, but it is based on the period term which is mentioned in the contract. That is the crucial difference. So that is a binding clause, binding contract. So when you have already entered into a contract with an employee to terminate that person's service only after attaining 58 years of age, you cannot change that person, that particular class unilaterally. It is not possible, right? So that will be considered as unfair labor practice. It is not possible. So permanent employees cannot be just like that converted into fixed term employees. It is not possible. It is not the idea at all.